Hi, my name is Sonya Madison, and welcome to Law Unfiltered, where I talk about some of the current events and the legal implications. Well, today is President Obama's last day, and he has done what a lot of presidents do, and that is issue a lot of clemencies and pardons for some of the prisoners, or particularly federal prisoners. And one of the big controversies that has erupted is his release, or at least declaring or giving clemency to Oscar Lopez-Rivera. Now, for some of you who may not know, Oscar Lopez is a former Chicago native, and he was born in Puerto Rico but then moved over to the United States. He was a community activist. He went to war in Vietnam, and when he returned, he helped a lot of people, particularly people from Puerto Rico who have moved or migrated here to the United States, to get better school systems, to get better access to jobs and the like. And so he was considered a big community organizer. But at some point in the 1970s and the 1980s, he became involved in one of the Puerto Rican terrorists that was pretty much fighting against the establishment of having the U.S. have territory over in Puerto Rico. And he was considered a communist at the time. So there was a bomb that occurred back in according to New York, I want to say around the 1970s. And at that time, 4 people were killed. And upon investigation, it was discovered that he may have had some type of role or involvement within. And so when he was finally captured, because he was a fugitive for several years, he was convicted. He pretty much admitted to being involved in some of the terrorist acts, as well as he didn't condemn terrorism. And so he was in jail for, I want to say, almost 30 plus years. And several presidents, including President Carter, as well as President Clinton, offered him clemency on the condition that he renounce terrorism, or at least acts of violence. And so because he was convicted for trying to overthrow the government, as well as armed robbery, and also trying to access weapons and guns and bombs to pretty much injure other Americans, they really wanted him to say, listen, we renounce, or I do not support or condone the use of violence, but he refused to do so. And so he stayed in jail for another period of time. In the 80s, he tried to escape and was therefore had more convictions added to his sentence. And so some controversy that he was released under President Obama's clemency. And so what a lot of people who support his release are saying, well, he's only being labeled a political prisoner. And essentially they're saying because he didn't agree with the U.S. having territory in Puerto Rico, and because he was a communist, we locked him up, and we being America locked him up. Whereas other people are saying, no, he is not renouncing violence. He did commit, or at least was involved in acts of violence in an attempt to make a statement. And because of those situations, unlike other pardons and clemencies that President Obama has given, this one is directly related to an act of violence, and therefore should not be considered the same as for the drug dealers or people who have leaked information like Chelsea Manning. So it's interesting, though, to see kind of both sides. I don't know as much about the pros. I mean, I do lean towards caution when someone refuses to renounce violence and is essentially pretty much going out back into the world with this statement that I don't feel like I did anything wrong and I was unfairly incarcerated. But nonetheless, I do understand that there is a whole nother argument to it. You've had a lot of people like a lot of Nobel Peace Prize winners, Coretta Scott King, and other individuals do support his release, especially a lot of individuals in the Puerto Rican community. And so perhaps they can speak on why they think this was definitely a good decision. So, but in the meantime, definitely tell me what you think, and I'll see you guys next time on Law Unfiltered.